The wealthy do one quiet thing daily. It looks unremarkable from outside, yet it shapes decades. Most skip it entirely. They chase loud moves and miss quiet ones. The quiet ones hold the wealth. It is not strategy or formula. It is a way of thinking. Most never pause to notice. The wealthy think in decades, not days. They protect attention as others protect wallets. This shift changes much. By the end, you will see it clearly. You will see why most skip it and how to start now. The skip thing is not budgeting harder. It sits underneath every strategy. It is willingness to think slowly. This is not stock advice. It is a slower look at temperament, the hidden engine behind quiet fortunes. Temperament is the part nobody photographs. It cannot be packaged or sold, yet it decides almost everything. This is why advice rarely changes lives. Information is everywhere and free. Temperament processes it. Two people read the same book. One acts wisely, the other forgets. The difference is temperament. Slow thinking sounds boring today. That is why most never develop it. The wealthy use it daily. Picture two people receiving the same bonus. One feels it burning a hole. The other quietly sets it aside. Both earned the same that month. Both look identical on paper today. 10 years later, lives differ greatly. The difference was not income or talent. It was one quiet pause, multiplied across thousands of small moments. That week of stillness is the skipped step. Not glamorous or shareable. It changes who spends it. The wealthy treat money like direction. A small turn becomes another country. They feel that weight before acting. Most feel urgency, not weight. Urgency says decide now. Time is slipping. Weight says wait, this is heavier. The skipped thing is sitting with weight, letting a decision breathe before marrying it. Most rush past this room. Inside that room, clarity arrives unhurried. You notice which desires are yours. Borrowed desires are how fortunes leak. The room itself is not physical. It is a gap between feeling and action. Most have closed that gap entirely. Closing the gap feels efficient, but efficiency in the wrong direction costs. The wealthy keep that gap open. A borrowed desire is another's wish. A car, a watch, a posted lifestyle. The wealthy filter these out early. They ask one question, most skip. Would I want this unseen? The honest answer reshapes everything. This filter is not deprivation. It returns money to your actual life. Most spending drifts toward an imagined audience. Pause and consider your last purchase. Was it for you or for watchers? No shame, only useful information. The watchers are often imagined. A coworker who never noticed, a neighbor who never truly cared. We spend real money for imagined applause. The wealthy noticed this early, then stopped paying the invisible tax. The invisible tax is the largest paid. It rarely shows on any statement, but it drains years of earnings. Share that reflection in the comments. Someone reading may recognize themselves. These moments help more than advice. Now return with me to the pattern. The skip thing has another layer. It involves how they treat waiting. Waiting is treated as weakness. We are told speed proves skill. The wealthy disagree and results agree. They know time is a partner. Time works for you uninterrupted. Most interrupt it constantly without knowing. Every panic sale interrupts time. Every impulsive buy interrupts again. Each resets the compounding underneath. The wealthy guard compounding carefully. They know each restart costs years, so they stop restarting lives. Compounding here is not only financial. Trust compounds slowly and invisibly. Skill and calmness compound similarly. Reputation compounds when nobody scores. Small honest acts repeated accumulate. They open doors others never see. The wealthy understand this early. They invest in character first. Money follows steady character later. Doors opened by reputation have no price. They appear from who you became, not from what you bought. Most abandon things before compounding showed early years of any path look unimpressive. The wealthy expect that and continue. They made peace with the middle. The middle is where most quit, so they treat it as opportunity. Imagine planting a tree and digging up. You would never see shade arrive. Most lives hold many dug-up trees. The wealthy plant fewer things and leave them. A boring index, a skill, a marriage. Left alone, ordinary becomes extraordinary. This is the part most cannot believe. Boring, repeated actions outperform brilliant ones. Math agrees. The heart resists. The heart wants stories of overnight breakthroughs. Those stories sell well and teach little. Reality moves in small, consistent increments. The wealthy studied this gap carefully. Between the story we want and what works, they chose truth, even when slower. Choosing the slower truth feels lonely. Friends may misread it as low ambition. Years later, they may quietly ask how. So the wealthy build temperament for increments. They find meaning inside slowness, not escape. That meaning becomes the real fuel. Without meaning, slowness feels like punishment. With meaning, it feels like progress instead. Finding meaning is the skipped step. Meaning is not a poster or board. It answers one private question. What life am I actually building? Most skip this because it feels heavy. Easier to chase whatever appears today. Unanswered questions still steer the ship. The wealthy answer this early and revisit. Not to brag, but to navigate. Confusion is expensive. Clarity is cheap. Clarity lives inside honest self-conversation. No subscription, no course, no expert needed. Just willingness to sit with questions. That willingness is the temperament, not personality or luck. It is a practice available to anyone. The practice begins with one small pause. Before a purchase, a yes, a pivot. 3 breaths and one honest question. The question can be embarrassingly simple. Will this matter in 10 years? Most things will not, which is freeing. Freeing because it lifts pressure from choices. Tiny things stop pretending to matter. Important things finally get real attention. Most people do this backwards. They give big attention to small choices. They agonize over coffee, rush partners. The wealthy invert that ratio instinctively. They move quickly through small things. They move slowly through large ones. This inversion most people miss. It looks unimpressive from outside, but quietly compounds over years. This inversion alone saves decades. It protects from the biggest regrets. It frees from countless small ones. Consider how often you rushed major decisions, a job, a move, a commitment. Now consider how slowly you pick shows. There is no judgment in noticing this. It is how attention is trained today. Retraining is the quiet work. Retraining starts with one slow choice. Stretch it across a week or longer. Watch the right answer surface. Most fear slowness causes missing out. The wealthy learned the opposite is true. Speed is what causes missing. Fear of missing out is paid emotion. Many industries depend on it. The wealthy quietly stop subscribing. When you stop fearing missing out, life narrows. Fewer doors, but right ones. Deeper rooms behind each chosen door. Speed grabs the first option. Slowness lets the better one arrive. Patience is not passive, it sorts. This sorting is what most never install. They grab whatever moves fastest. Lives end shaped by accident. A life shaped by accident is not failed. It rarely feels like the wanted life. The wealthy shape theirs quietly. Shaping is not control or certainty. It is choosing purposefully, small and often. Purposeful choices accumulate direction. Direction beats speed over long horizons. A slow walker beats a circling sprinter. Most sprint in circles for years. The skipped thing is intentional slowness, a refusal to be hurried, a willingness to let life unfold. Intentional slowness feels strange today. You will worry about falling behind. That worry is the price of entry. Everyone else worries about falling behind too. The crowd sprints in one anxious loop. Stepping out creates real space. Inside that space, preferences become audible. You notice what you enjoy, not perform. Money flows toward what belongs. Money flowing toward what belongs stays. Money chasing borrowed desires leaves. This is the quiet physics of wealth. This required no special background. Intentional slowness is free and portable. You can begin within the hour. Begin by delaying one small decision, something you would normally answer instantly. Let it sit overnight and watch. If it still feels right tomorrow, proceed. If lighter, you have your answer. Either way, you practice the pause. What often changes is the decision itself. You realize you did not want it. That realization saves money invisibly. Invisible savings are the deepest wealth. They never appear as line items. Over decades, they fund entire freedoms. Freedoms include saying no without panic, taking a slower job that fits, caring for a parent without dread. These freedoms rarely look impressive online, but they are what wealth quietly buys: time, choice, absence of fear. Most count visible savings and income. The wealthy count what they did not buy. That ledger is enormous and private. This private ledger is another skip thing. People feel rich by showing. The wealthy feel secure by keeping. Keeping is harder than earning. Earning gets celebrated. Keeping gets nothing. So most optimize for celebration. Optimizing for celebration explains paycheck to paycheck earners. The temperament was never built underneath. Income rises, but freedom never arrives. Without temperament, more money leaks more. With it, modest money becomes meaningful. Temperament is the real container. The container with holes cannot hold. Most work on inflow ignore holes. The wealthy patch holes first. Patching means noticing borrowed desires honestly. It means slowing decisions and questioning urgency. None dramatic, all of it decisive. Dramatic moves get applause but lose money. Decisive quiet moves quietly build it. The wealthy stopped chasing applause long ago. It also means knowing what enough is. Most have no working definition. Without one, goalposts move forever. The wealthy define enough privately, not as a ceiling, but a compass, so more never becomes master. Decisive without drama signals temperament. It does not appear on social media. It lives in the unglamorous middle. The middle is where most quit. They want before and after stories, not quiet. The wealthy made peace with quiet. Making peace with the quiet is the step. Everything flows from that acceptance. Without it, no strategy holds. Let the quiet feel less like punishment. Let it feel like a room being built. Brick by quiet brick. You do not need a fortune to build this. You need willingness to pause. That willingness is the starting point. You also need patience with your earlier self. Borrowed desires did not appear randomly. They were trained and can leave. Retraining happens through repetition, not insight. You will pause, forget, then remember again. That cycle is the practice itself. The cycle is not failure, it is the path. Every wealthy mind walked it. The difference is they kept walking. Each remembering strengthens temperament slightly. Each compounds the way money compounds, quietly and visibly over years. Years from now, the pause becomes automatic. You will wonder how you lived without. That is when temperament is yours. Until then, treat each remembering as a win, not failure to remember more often. Just a quiet brick added. This is why the wealthy seem unhurried. They have repeated the pause countless times. It became their thinking's natural shape. You can develop that shape through repetition. No talent or inheritance needed. Only the daily willingness to pause. If something here resonated, take a slow breath. Notice what came up while listening. Bring it into one choice tomorrow. One choice tomorrow, made deliberately and slowly. That is the entire beginning. From there, the temperament grows on its own. Share in the comments what landed. Your honest words may help another viewer. We are building a calmer community. If this feels different, subscribe and tap the bell. New reflections arrive each week. Calm voices are worth keeping close. Remember, temperament is built, not inherited. Every slow decision is a brick. That house outlasts everything louder. The wealthy are not smarter or luckier. They stopped skipping the quiet middle ago. You can stop skipping it today. The world will keep telling you to hurry. You can smile, breathe, let noise pass. That smile, repeated, becomes wealth.